Autumn Athletes, Larry Sorensen here, and today I'm going to catch up with Blake McMurray and find out what makes her an Autumn Athlete that's not done yet. But before we do, remember, if you like our content, please like, subscribe, and ding that bell for notifications. All right, Blake, first of all, thank you so much for joining us today. I want to just take a second and give you an opportunity to introduce yourself to our audience.
Sure. I'm Blake McMurray. I'm 52 years old. I've been married almost 30 years to my husband, Brian. We have two sons. One just turned 19 and one is getting ready to turn 21. So we're headed into a new phase of life and it's pretty exciting.
Tell us a little bit about your basic health and fitness going up till about 2 years ago, because we're going to talk about what changed 2 years ago.
When I was a child, I had asthma so bad, I skipped PE all of elementary school. My parents, I went to the hospital so much with breathing issues. They really did not think that I would grow up. So my childhood was drastically different. It got better in high school. I was able to do, with medications, do athletics. I did some tennis. No superstar athlete, but I was very happy to be able to move and compete and play and do things. So that was fun. And after high school, I really didn't do any more athletics in college and got married right after college and didn't really do any kind of athletics outside of that, except we're adventurous. Like we're an adventurous family. We do a lot. But after I had kids, after they got in school age, I started playing a little bit of tennis again, doing some ladies' leagues, which was fun, but not super competitive, but we were competitive. Like, but I was typical suburban housewife. I was a stay-at-home mom. I loved it. It's the only job I ever really had wanted to do, and so we had a great life. But one thing I did not realize is my weight. Well, I realized my weight went up and up, but it just felt normal to me. Just after I had kids, I just didn't really get the weight off. I just gained more weight over the years into my 30s and then into my 40s. And sometimes I'd lose a little bit, but the trajectory was up. Mm-hmm. And to the point that a few years ago, I was over 200 pounds and I really hurt all the time. It was just, I guess, inflammation in my joints at this point with all the extra weight. And I started playing pickleball about 8 years ago. And so I've loved playing just recreational pickleball, and I would play, but then I would have to take a day off because I literally could hardly walk the next day. My body hurt so bad. And the crazy thing was that just felt normal to me. Like I look around and I was pretty average. I was pretty sedentary except for my pickleball. And it's kind of wild to look back on that now. The things I think about now going back, I would take stairs one at a time, going up and coming down. Like I didn't trust my knees. I was always last on family adventures. Everybody had to stop and wait on me. I didn't understand before how my health impacted my quality of life. And I didn't believe that I could do anything about it. I didn't believe that change was possible.
Obviously, you have made a change. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened around 2 years ago, and then we'll segue again to how you did that. But what made the change?
My why was and continues to be pickleball. Like I love pickleball. It is so fun to me to be able to play that. It's very social. It's very easy to learn if you haven't played it before. But it's fun to compete too. And a couple years ago, I'd been playing for years, like just having fun, but I got bit by the bug that what if I could get on the court with those high level 4.0 players? Like, how do I make that happen? And so I decided I wanted to get better. And so part of my journey in getting better, I had the realization that improving my health would improve my game. So that was my driver. I never believed for myself just getting healthy, living longer, not getting diseases. I couldn't connect my current self with my future self, but I could connect my current self with next week's pickleball player. And if I could do something this week to make next week better on the court, I was going to do that. And so I really had to tie into something more short-term and tangible which was enough to get me started. And then to understand, I got traction with it. I started believing I could do it, and it just snowballed from there.
So what kind of transformation did that have on your body?
So when I was playing rec pickleball, I had actually bought like these compression things for my legs to do on the day after the day I played and the day after I played, to be able to still function as a normal human. Like, I was in so much pain. It really was so much pain. And within 2 weeks of starting on a nutrition plan, that was disappearing. And that was one of my drivers. My sister found this program and she's like, I lost 35 pounds. And I'm like, ooh, way to go. Like, that's great. She said, and I don't hurt anymore. And I was like, what? How could you not hurt? It didn't occur to me you could not hurt. And so I went on to lose 70 pounds. I was 205 pounds. I got down to 135 pounds.
Oh.
And it just, I didn't mean to change my life. I was just trying to get better at pickleball, but it's completely changed every aspect of my life. My quality of life is absolutely phenomenal now compared to what it was before. And I had a great life. I just didn't know this was an option.
You lost 70 pounds, fantastic achievement. You're feeling a lot better. Outline some of the training that you did, and then also some of the lifestyle changes with your diet and nutrition.
I didn't change the amount of pickleball I was playing. That's the interesting thing is people say, eat less, exercise more. That's not really right. It's eat better and exercise for fitness. Exercise is not the best for weight loss. And so what I found was great for weight loss was tweaking my nutrition. And so that I did not lose my weight through exercise. I did the same amount of exercise for years before I led up to this and when I was doing it. And so that part was a little eye-opening to me. I needed nutrition simplified because counting macros and micros and figuring all this stuff out and which whole foods and which organic and all that, it shut me down. It was too much information. There was too much to sift through. It was overwhelming. And when you're confused about something, you don't move, you're paralyzed. And so it just was too overwhelming for me to figure out. I needed a system I could just plug into, because if I can plug into it, I'll follow it. I needed something easy to plug into. And that's what I found with this program is they simplified the nutrition. They helped change my eating habits that I ate 6 times a day. I ate every 2 to 3 hours. So you hear that, small meals throughout the day. It leveled out my blood sugar. It helped my digestion system process things better. It kept constant fuel in my body that my body learned to trust me. It learned it was going to get some fuel and it was going to be able to burn it and get some more fuel and be able to burn it and get some more fuel and be able to burn it. It was predictable. And so with that just came the predictable weight loss through this program. So that part of it was amazing. There are a few more things components I needed to add to stick with this. A huge one was I needed outside accountability because I will quit on myself in a heartbeat. If I think I've failed at something, if I stayed on my diet through lunchtime and at 2 o'clock I ate something, I'm like, well, forget it today. I'm going to start again tomorrow. I'm going to start again next Monday. And I'm going to eat a lot before then because I know I'm starting. Like, that's how I got to where I was. And so I needed somebody else to partner with me. And having just that outside accountability, not my boss, but somebody to guide me and tools, somebody to encourage me, somebody to celebrate me because I'm so hard on myself. Like, that helped so much. Another component was I got in a healthy community. Like, I changed my surroundings of what was coming in and the social learning aspect of running with people who are also pursuing health. Oh, it changes the game for you big time, because my regular set of friends, health was not a priority. And when you get around people with the energy who are pursuing more, it helps with that build that internal motivation to do more for yourself. And then one of the most important components of it was I didn't want it just to be a diet, because a diet is short term, and I didn't understand that to start. I have on my calendar start diet in October of 21. I started a diet. That's what I thought. And I thought, I'm going to do this as fast as I can so I can get back to my regularly scheduled life. Like, that's literally, I remember having that thought. And about a weekend, I was like, I don't think it works that way. And so building in lifestyle change, I needed to identify where my bad habits were, become aware of them, find tools to change them to healthy habits. So as I was losing weight, the nutrition part was taken care of. I could focus on mindset. I could focus on building healthy habit after healthy habit and stacking those habits. So by the time my weight was gone, I had lifestyle change.
Mm-hmm.
And when you've got healthy habits, you've created something that you're automatically doing. That's the thing. When you start, it's hard. Oh my gosh, it's hard to change your habits. You're having to spend a lot of energy doing it. As you get used to doing it, you don't even notice you're doing it. You're not spending energy doing it. So when you're stacking these habits for lifestyle change, by the time you get done with that, it's just how I live now. It's just how I live, and it's beautiful, and I feel so good.
You're feeling better, you're feeling good, you're feeling strong, feeling active. So now you decided to take this recreational fun thing and go somewhere with it. So tell us about your pickleball journey and where you're at today.
My pickleball journey has been fascinating because I did play just recreational, just for fun, socially, for so many years before I got bit by this little competitive bug. And when I came from tennis, I really just taught myself how to play, because you can basically walk on the court and play pickleball. But I had a lot of bad mechanics because I never really learned the right way. So part of my journey, when I started to try to figure out how to play better, was I had to deconstruct my game. So I had to I took clinics, like I took a lot of clinics, and then I finally moved to private lessons. I really had to relearn a lot. I had a lot of bad habits. I mean, the same thing. I had a lot of bad habits. So I went to some experts and I plugged in and I got in the community to do that. It's the same process. And in working so hard to do that, and playing, the ability to play up with some local players that were better, a couple of high level players saw what I was trying to do. And a lot of people, when they're learning, they take a clinic and then they just go play their regular game, and then they take a clinic and they go play their regular game. They're not willing to step back and suck for a little bit, working on the new skill. And I don't know what it is about me, but I didn't care. I didn't care if I won a game, if I lost a game. I was going to build that new skill, because I knew it didn't matter if I lost that day. I was going to win I was going to win later, and later was more important than today. And so the mindset of just being willing to go back to being a beginner at something, and totally taking my ego off the table. It doesn't matter if I look like an idiot. I'm working on this skill, and not bowing to the pressure of your partner wants to win this game. It was a different mindset than the majority of people around me. I just was able to build on that myself. I've made it me versus me for a long time now. And I think that is how I've continued to get better and better and better. So part of that journey was when I discovered, when I became aware of how much changing my health would help my stamina, because I couldn't play every day. I was getting tired after 2 hours. Like, rec games are usually like 3 hours, and I couldn't get to short balls. My health was impacting my game. And so my drive to get better motivated me to work on my health. And as my health started getting better and I started getting better at the game, it just built on itself and it amplified. Because I was putting so much work into that and was pretty focused on it, one of the high level players that I was training with on occasion actually took me on as to partner with on a tournament. I told him one of my biggest dreams was to partner with him. He was a 5-0 player one day in a tournament, and I was still a 3-5 then. And he was like, well, I don't see why we can't do that. And so I was like, okay, let's do it. And he's like, the first thing we need to do is I need you to teach you how to stop popping the ball up. So that took a long time. But he basically took me under his wing, and now he had a dream that I never had, but has become my dream and has become our reality, that we're playing senior pro together now, which just blows my mind. It blows my mind. 2 years ago, a 3-5 player. So, I mean, I'm still playing up for senior pro. I've made it, like I'm at the bottom, but I'm excited about it because I'm 52. I'm 52. I was 200 and something pounds 2.5 years ago. And to be able to compete at this level now, he found me, I was like a little lump of clay, and he like molded me into this senior pro player. And it's one of the reasons I'm passionate about paying it forward, because that's what he did for me. And honestly, I would never be at the level I'm at if he had not seen my potential, seen my worth, decided to invest in me. And he paid it forward for people who had done that for him. And so he sees things in you that he can pull out. And that's what I want to do for other people. Like, one of the reasons I actually health coach now is I help pay forward what I discovered. I didn't understand before what was possible. And so it took somebody coming alongside me in my health and in pickleball to show me that I had options and that I could make different choices and I could chase dreams. You can change what you're doing and you can change your future. Like, if you want something, don't limit yourself, just go for it.
Tell us about this little setback that you've had and how you're progressing now from that.
Yeah, so I started playing pro events last May, and we did 3 tournaments last year, so we didn't do a lot, but I really had not played in a tournament before. So last March we did like a 4-5 tournament. We won a 4-5 together just to get my feet wet for tournaments. And then we did a PPA event in May. That was my first senior pro event. I got to play against one of the best senior pro players. His name is Paul Olin, and I couldn't believe it. It was such a privilege to get beat by him. I was so excited. So that just kind of lit the fire for me that, oh yeah, this is a goal. This is a dream I want. And then we had our second senior pro event in September in Atlanta. And probably around August, maybe the end of July, my foot was hurting and I didn't really understand why. But we were training heavy. Like, we were training 5 to 6 days a week, 12 to 15 hours, just drilling, not including playing. And my foot hurt progressively worse. And finally I got somebody to look at it. We looked at it, but not closely, because I thought it's fine. Pain, like at this point, I'm working so hard, pain was irrelevant. I played through it. And the week before the tournament, I did mention to my partner, Billy, I was like, oh, just to let you know, my foot pain's probably about an 8 or a 9 by the time we're finished drilling. So just, but I'm playing the tournament. That was my goal. Well, I come home from the tournament. We do really well in the senior pro event. We actually won 5-0 bronze in that event, which was pretty fun. And I go to the podiatrist and she puts me in a boot. So I have a bone bruise on my foot. A bone had shifted in my foot because of the amount of impact I had. It had inflamed the bone. And if I didn't get off, I was at high risk for a fracture, which is 6 months out. So we were like 4 to 6 weeks off. I was like, let's do 2 to 3 and see how that does. So I had optimistic expectations, but I ended up being out for 4 months, which was not only physically tough, but mentally. After working so hard for that amount of time, I mean, I started training in April of 22, I guess, is when we started training, and then trained for almost a year before we played our first senior pro. To get knocked out was very difficult. And I had a pity party for a couple days, and then I was like, okay, so I can either come out of this better or worse. it's a choice.
Mm.
And before I had this transformation, my transformation on the outside looks like physical. My transformation is here. The physical is nothing compared to the mental transformation that I've done, the work I've put in here, and the mindset shifts and the emotional resiliency that I've built, because I could then look at this situation and no, I don't like it. I wish it didn't happen, but it's for me. Like, how is this for me? What is slowing me down? What is taking me out of my crazy pace? What can I do to come out of it better? And so that's what I've done the last 4 months. I've done all kinds of crazy things to keep my pickleball game up. I've been doing Oculus games to work on my vision, hand-eye coordination. I've been, throwing pickleballs to work on, forehand dinks. Like, I've done all kinds of crazy things in the meantime, done a lot of balance work. I started going back to the gym because I was like, when I get back, I'm going to be in better shape. I'm not going to come out of this having sat on the couch and moped for months.
Sure.
Like, I'm coming out of this when I can play again. I'm gonna be ready to play. And so the crazy thing is, I've upped my fitness level. I've been strength training in the gym. I have a personal trainer now who is tailoring my workouts for pickleball. I've dialed my nutrition back in. I've gotten some weight back off that I gained while I was out. Like, I'm so motivated and focused now. I'm physically in better position than I was when I was injured. So I can't wait to go back. My next tournament's in April. So I'm training again now. It's been about 2 weeks since I've been able to get back on the full court, kind of walking the borderline of not re-injuring myself, but training enough you can't just walk back to that level, like to get back to that level so we can compete in April.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it. And I'm more motivated than ever. And part of the health journey is, health isn't just a weight. I'm at a good weight right now, but that's not health. Health is managing your stress level, managing your emotions, getting enough sleep, making sure you're getting hydration. There's so much more with that. And now that I'm at a healthy weight, like, I have more options. I didn't have the option to go strength train and really do much for myself before because my problems were bigger than that. But now, adding in yoga, I'm getting my body more flexible. I'm doing like assisted stretching things. I'm doing the strength training. I'm lifting more weights. It's exciting to see, okay, I made it this far. That's not the end of the goal. This is where it really starts. This is where it starts to get fun.
You've recovered from your injury. Things are looking great. Looking forward to your next tournament. Where can we keep track of you? Where can we find you out there on social media?
Find me on Facebook, and I am pretty active. One of the things that I have changed is I am living my life out loud. So I'm sharing the journey I'm going through. People are like, how you did that? Well, follow my Facebook, because I'm telling you how I'm doing these things, and not from a position of, I figured this all out, from a position of, hey, guess what? This is a new thing I learned and I'm going to try it and let's see how it works. And oh my gosh, that worked. It is, let's go on the journey together. So I enjoy that. I enjoy putting a positive spin out in the world. I think the world has a lot of darkness, and I'm shining my little light. So I'd love for people to follow me and connect, friend request. I enjoy talking to people, and it'll be fun.
Blake, I want to really thank you for joining us today. Really some great stuff. I think a lot of people are going to have some great takeaways from what you've given us today. So I do want to close here in the next couple of minutes and give you the opportunity to just give us some final thoughts.
Change is possible. That's the thing. I had lost hope that anything could be different. And I just really settled for average before. And it turns out that that's a choice. And that's what I didn't understand. I didn't realize I was making the choice to stay that way. And you can choose better. And when you choose better for yourself, you change your life. I've completely changed the trajectory of my future. I've broken generational chains because I said one simple yes to, yeah, I think I'd like to get healthy. And the biggest thing is just to start. We delay, we procrastinate, we make excuses, we have objections, but once you start, you'll see that it's true. Change is possible. And when you start getting some traction in your health, it opens up a headspace for you that's really busy right now, telling you all the stuff that's wrong. And just clearing that space, you will have a better quality life. And so I just encourage you to do it. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Just move forward and take some action and start making choices that'll change your future.
Well, there you go, folks. Amazing advice from Blake McMurray. Thank you again so much for joining us. Blake is definitely an autumn athlete that's not done yet. Remember, folks, keep moving, set your goals, and train hard to achieve them. Hope you enjoyed today's discussion. We appreciate you tuning in. We will catch you next time.